Today, we're diving into a topic that has baffled and intrigued men for millennia. How to spot the secret signals a woman is sending when she likes you. We're going to move past the cliches and look at what the latest 2024 and 2025 behavioral research is telling us. It turns out that while we think attraction is a mystery, it's actually a predictable, nonverbal performance. The most important takeaway: women are the primary initiators of courtship. They send the green light. The man's role is simply to notice it and respond. But these signals are often subtle, a delicate balancing act to show interest without risking over-rejection, what psychological researchers call covert sexual signaling. The ocular signals, the green light gaze. The most reliable sign of initial attraction is found in the eyes. Recent studies reinforce that the female gaze sequence is a deliberate, though often unconscious, invitation. It rarely involves a sustained, aggressive stare, which might violate social norms. Instead, look for the triple glance pattern. 1. A quick initial glance to establish recognition. 2. A second, slightly prolonged hold of eye contact, lasting 2 to 3 seconds, often accompanied by a slight smile or a downturned head, the classic coy gaze. 3. A quick aversion, followed by a return glance shortly thereafter. Beyond the movement, a key physiological indicator is pupil dilation. When her brain's reward centers, linked to attraction, are activated by your presence, her pupils will involuntarily widen. While subtle, if her eyes appear darker or more luminous when looking at you compared to when she looks elsewhere, it's a powerful, uncontrollable signal of interest. The somatic cues, orientation and openness. The entire body acts as a communication beacon, sending signals about approachability and intent. The research consistently points to open body language as a critical cue. She will instinctively minimize physical barriers. This means her arms will be uncrossed, her purse or phone will be placed to the side, and her torso will be angled directly toward you. When seated or standing, she will often lean in toward you, physically closing the distance to show engagement and desire for proximity. Perhaps the most honest signal is foot orientation. Even if a woman is consciously trying to appear aloof or busy, her subconscious mind often betrays her. If her feet and knees are pointed directly toward you, her body is literally orienting itself in your direction. Conversely, if her feet point toward an exit or another person, her mind is signaling a desire for departure or a focus elsewhere. Another key somatic cue is self-touch or preening behaviors. She might casually brush her hair, twirl it around her finger, smooth her clothing, or lightly touch her own neck or wrist. This is a subtle attempt to draw attention to herself, increase her visual appeal, and display vulnerable areas, signaling comfort and readiness for increased intimacy. The verbal and contact signals, the escalation test. Once the initial nonverbal cues are established, she moves to signals that test the waters for an actual connection. The most overt physical signal is the touch barrier test. An interested woman will seek out low-risk opportunities for physical contact. A light lingering touch on the arm when you make her laugh, a brief hand on your shoulder to emphasize a point, or even an accidental brush against you while walking. Research shows these fleeting touches are intentional maneuvers to assess your reciprocity and comfort level. If you reciprocate positively, she will often escalate the frequency or duration of these touches. Verbally, look for focused attention and memory. She will use your name more frequently than a polite social introduction requires, and she will ask deeper, revealing questions about your personal life, values, and past experiences. Crucially, she will remember small, specific details you previously mentioned. This hyper-attentiveness is a signal of genuine emotional investment. The conversation itself will also carry signals of her interest. 1. The laughter barometer. She will laugh at your jokes, even the mediocre ones. Laughter is an easy way to signal comfort and approval. She's using laughter to create a positive, bonding atmosphere around you. 2. Interest in your inner life. An interested woman will shift the conversation toward a deeper, more personal engagement. She asks revealing questions about your values, beliefs, and past. She remembers small, specific details you mentioned in a previous conversation and brings them up later. This shows focused attention and effort. She uses your name more frequently than necessary. Hearing one's own name is psychologically engaging, and she's trying to establish a stronger, more intimate connection. 3. The future projection. A highly telling verbal cue is when she starts to weave you into her future plans, even theoretically. Like, you'd love that band coming to town next month, or we should check out that new coffee shop sometime. She's not just making small talk, she's using language to psychologically try you on for size, exploring what a life with you might look like. So, how do you spot if a woman likes you? Don't look for a single sign. Look for a cluster of signals that occur consistently in your presence and are not present when she interacts with others. The woman who likes you is the one who gives you the prolonged, repeated eye gaze with a smile, opens her body toward you, leans in, and points your feet your way. These signals are her green light. They are her subtle but deliberate invitation for you to make the next move. Now that you know the science behind the signals, you have the knowledge to move forward with confidence. The next step is always to be respectful, match her openness, and then when the moment feels right, take the initiative she's been waiting for.